We welcome you to the North Middlesex Regional High School's View. I'm Karen Fitzpatrick, here with Chris Tucker and Jess DiLorenzo.
Today we're talking about the visions and values with our principal, Mrs. Battye.
With our new principal, we are going to try and see what our vision is and discuss our values that we would like to identify.
How are you guys doing today?
Very good, Mrs.
Very well,
Battye.
thank you.
Well,
Good. Vision and values, those are sort of things that we think of when organizations are starting. And one of the things that I've been working on since I started here was really trying to come up with a vision for our future. Where are we going as a high school? And as part of that, in our upcoming NEASC accreditation, we also have to identify what our vision for the future of our school is and what we value, so that we can make better decisions when we're trying to strive to attain our vision somewhere in the future. So last year, actually, Mr. Higginbottom started this whole process. He had this huge committee going, and it had a bunch of people, lots of teachers and parents and students and a whole bunch of people, and started the process of revising our existing mission statement. When I came on board, though, I had to learn all of this new stuff. And so one of the first things that I looked at was, well, what are people really valuing and what do they see for the school for the future? So I did a lot of looking and a lot of listening. And one of the activities that I did with a whole bunch of different people, teachers and alumni and parents and 8th grade parents and graduates' parents, was an exercise to help us sort of clarify the things that are important to us. So the activity is called I Hate It When. You guys want to play?
Sounds like fun.
Sure.
yes.
Okay.
All right.
Well, because it's actually, instead of me sitting here asking you, so what is it that you value about your education? This kind of, you can't really come up with something good. So
Right.
it's much easier to say the things that you don't like, because that tells you what you value is the opposite of that. So complete this sentence. At school, I hate it when
The hallways are crowded.
the hallways are crowded. What is it about the hallways being crowded that you don't like?
Well, first of all, there's many kids, and the hallways are very narrow.
Okay.
And the teachers, they have an expectation that you should be up there in the class by a certain time. And it's kind of difficult when they have this expectation and, you're trying your best and everything to get up there. It can just be difficult.
So what is it that there's, like, kids are talking and chatting with their friends?
Yeah,
or
some of them, some will clump in areas. There will be certain clumps and everything, and everyone's just kind of trying to get around each other. And I'm sorry.
Okay, so
So-
it's about, like, respect and letting people go down the hallways
Yes.
and about kind of being respectful with the
Yes.
passing stuff.
And
Okay.
even though we have that breezeway, if you think about it, most our English hall that's the most crowded hall. Mm-hmm. Even with that breezeway, we still when I go out there, I only see a couple people going out there.
So even though you have that option,
Even though it's only been open for a couple days, but small school spreads around fast.
yeah, well, just wait till the weather gets nice, too.
Yeah.
If people will be outside a little bit more.
It's only like a 3-second walk. You can't walk outside for 2 seconds.
Well,
The cold. But, yeah,
Well, maybe we
whatever.
could look at keeping it open all year long and seeing if there's, energy costs. I mean, I don't know. That's probably the reason why they closed it originally, was
Yes.
because the heat just kind of goes right out the door.
Literally.
So what else don't you like? At school, I hate it when. Tell me some other things.
You wanna-
At school, I hate it when we seem to always have tests on the same day. It seems like every single teacher just wants to have a test, and it has to be a big test too. It's not a small test. It's always when the quarter's closing and everything. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. I totally understand why we are having these tests, because they need to get grades in, but I don't think they necessarily understand all the pressure it's putting on the kid for the night before.
Right, so that, like, the big projects are all due on the same day,
Yeah.
the big tests are all due on the same day.
If there was better communication between the teachers, say, all right, maybe I'll have this at the beginning of the week, and you can assign your project due for the end of the week. That'll spread out the time.
So like a kind of a coordination with the deadlines and
Yes.
the different testing times. Well, that's
Yeah.
a great idea.
Especially if a teacher assigns not really a long-term project, but like a long-term paper or something like that. You got to write a 7-page paper. Okay, how long do I get? 3 months. Well, you're sitting there, you're doing your homework. Oh, 7-page paper. You know, it's like it's on your mind, and it's even though you don't have to do it exactly now, they're giving you 3 months for a reason. You know what I mean?
So you don't. So in other words, you're procrastinating until you get finished with them.
Yeah, it's terrible. I hate that kind of having that little like worry in a way.
Okay. So how come you just don't go and do the paper right away and get it done and over with?
Because you have already other homework to do. You know, especially if you play sports or something. You got 3 hours when you get home.
Oh, so then maybe
Approximately.
it's like a little bit about time management and planning backwards from the due dates with things.
Yes.
So you don't feel like that little.
Yeah, because you know, with tests comes a lot of preparation. You have to prepare to know a certain amount of material, you know, for the test, and
Yep.
you have to, you know, just be ready for it in general. And it's kind of difficult when you have multiple tests that you're studying for on the same day.
And you have to remember all the stuff on them.
Yeah, a lot of memorization too.
Oh.
And it's almost like, it's almost like you're not taking, you won't remember it as well if you're trying to memorize everything for one day. I mean, then you get your facts mixed up, and then it's like, all right, it's out of your head as soon as you have it down on paper.
Well, maybe one of the answers would be maybe memorization of facts. Maybe if the tests were a little structured different so that you're actually thinking about the content that you know rather than just giving out facts, maybe that would help with the studying because you actually have to think about the information. I mean, memorization is, I mean, let's face it, sometimes you
Yeah.
do have to memorize things, but on the other hand, we don't always have to just regurgitate back.
Right.
Yes.
So we've talked about crowded hallways. We've talked about cramming and having sort of all the deadlines and the tests all together. Tell me something else. What else don't you like about school? At school,
Well,
I hate it when...
The lunch bells, because you got 6 of them a period. You know, third period's lunchtime, and there's 6 of them, as I said. But yeah, it's a trained reaction, sort of, when I'm a sophomore now.
Okay.
But every day you hear a bell. Okay, next class. Or you hear the bell, it's lunch. So immediately your head pops up.
So you're up and ready to go.
Yeah, and then it's a
Bell.
letdown. Oh, second bell. Oh,
Yep,
great.
yep.
You know what I
So
mean?
how could we get change of periods without necessarily ringing the bells?
Well, I didn't really think that far, but
Well, that's good, kind of a good question. Maybe the vision for the future of our school is that we have no bells at our school.
no bells.
How do you think that would work?
It's a different concept.
I don't know
I
who's
hadn't
going to
thought
keep
of
track
that.
of the time.
Well, everybody has watches and cell phones.
Elementary
guess
school,
so.
we got along just fine.
That's right. You're right. Elementary
Yeah.
schools
Yeah.
don't have bells.
You know, I remember when, you know, elementary and middle school, they just say, okay, you know, time to pack up and
Yeah.
go to your next class.
Yeah.
That's what I remember mostly in middle school.
Um,
No bells.
Tell me something more. Tell me some other things that you don't like. I hate it when...
The computers are slow also. Like very badly
Oh,
slow.
you
Yeah.
hate it when the technology doesn't work. So you're valuing
Yes.
working technology. That's an important thing to value. So the high-tech stuff is good.
Definitely.
Okay.
And I think, you know, having this new high-tech stuff, I think that will get students even more involved too, because they're like, hey, this is new. I'm interested in using it.
Right,
like
right.
the Eno boards that
Yeah,
we have. You
yeah.
know, oh, I want to go up there and write on it. You know, while learning too. So I think that's a really good investment that we made.
To put the technology in the
To
classrooms.
put, you know, putting new technology.
It
Okay.
can make learning more fun.
Okay.
Also, Monty Tech and Neshoba also have those. I remember in 8th grade when they came, they told us all that. What they
Okay.
have. They have a lot of stuff like that.
All right. All right. So we've talked about crowded hallways. We'd value a little bit more changing time, mellow changing time. The bells, kind of maybe a more quiet day with less interruptions. That especially third period. Technology that works, working technology, and cramming, not memorization of stuff. Tell me something else.
Okay. Well, this is something a lot of people have an issue with, is the block scheduling.
Yeah.
It's a very controversial issue. Parents and students alike both have the same problem with it. Personally, I really enjoy it.
Okay.
I play sports and I'm very involved in after-school activities, and I like only having to worry about 3 or 4 classes of homework a night. And the teachers are usually decent about not giving out too much or too little. I mean,
It's kind of just right
yep,
as far
I
as
have
the
an
homework
average.
goes.
I can go home and know about how long it'll take me every evening. And I like that about the block scheduling. I don't have to worry about all 7
Or
classes.
8 classes, for that matter.
Yeah.
You guys agree? You're nodding your heads?
I totally agree, because I also think it will really come in handy too if you're struggling on a subject, or you know you have a weak point. Say it'd be math. You know, you have 90 minutes to work on that math, whereas in middle school you only have like 45 minutes
Right.
per class. And you know, definitely with what Jess said, that you can focus on
just those
just
couple
those
of
4
things.
things. Yes.
Just like an hour and a half, really isn't long when you get into it. Because I mean, sometimes I look up and class is like 5 minutes, close
Left
to
of
the
it.
end.
Yeah.
And it's not. People say, oh, an hour and a half of sitting learning English. Well, it's not really. For me, it feels like 25. It's because you're always all the teachers are great here. I think
That's awesome.
Then that's why.
Yes.
That's
why.
awesome. Great. Anything else that you'd want to add? So you value the block. You value that
Yes.
longer period of time in the classroom.
But what comes with that block is sometimes that full class lecturing that you get. That's, 15 minutes is all right, but an hour isn't very fun.
So the long lectures where you're just kind of sitting there listening, that gets old a little. So you'd want something that's a little bit more interactive or like engaging kind of,
Very much.
like just more discussion or that kind of stuff.
What I personally like is when in the beginning of class, sometimes some of my teachers, they take notes, like they write them on the board, you take them down.
Yep.
And then after that, you apply by doing a worksheet or something out of the book. And you can ask that teacher questions too, which actually makes it more interactive
Okay.
in a way. And, you can talk to, your peers
Well, that helps.
sometimes too.
Yeah.
And that's what makes class go by fast also, I think.
Great. So, okay, so you like the longer block, and you like the interactive classes that have sort of different activities besides only lecturing. Anything else you'd want to add? Okay.
I'm no.
Well,
Pretty content.
do you want to hear what the parents said and
Yes.
what the
yes.
other
I'd
people
love to hear
said
them.
that they liked?
Love to
Or
hear
that
it.
they valued?
Yes.
Okay. So we did a bunch of surveys. We did surveys to the, like I said, the 8th grade parents of 8th graders coming in, to the faculty, to current parents, to the alumni, the recent alumni of the school. And there was about 50 questions on the survey. And I have the top 20, but I'll share with you the top 10. So tell me what you think of these. Okay. Number 10. Students need to learn how to challenge themselves and stretch their abilities. What do you think of that?
Yes, they
I
do.
think that's
I
very
agree.
true.
Yes.
You
I
like
think that's
that?
very
You like
true.
that? What stands out to you about that?
Your abilities, stretching your abilities. You got to have, if you don't have an ability, then you can't really do anything. If you think about it, everybody's good at something.
Yep.
You
You're
just got
right.
to find what it is.
Right, exactly. And apply it to many different things.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. All right, number 9 was students, parents, teachers, and administrators should work together to make the school a better place.
Yeah.
I do think that's very important for especially the parents to be on the same page as the teachers, to like be understanding of how they're thinking, that the parents understand like homework wise that okay, so I'm not going to get yelled at by my parents for like staying up and doing homework until all hours of the night, but like because the teachers would have talked to them and we all get along in that.
Okay, so the teamwork thing is something that you might value.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Number 8 was students should be allowed to learn from their mistakes and recognize that mistakes are part of the learning process.
Oh,
Yeah, definitely.
You like that one?
Yes.
You can't make mistakes later anyways, Got a job, you got to do it right.
Well, but you got to learn from your mistakes too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one's
So it kind of helps
perfect,
you.
So
It kind of helps you because if you learn from your mistakes now, you can't do them later. Or
Right.
at least you shouldn't
Right.
do them later.
Right, exactly, because we're practicing right now. You're not in the real world yet, but you're going to be there pretty quick. Okay, let's see. Adults in school should be good role models.
well, I definitely agree with that one.
I mean, you're with us more than you probably are with your parents some days, at least
30
a week.
hours a
Some
week.
days,
30 hours a
definitely.
week.
Yeah, I mean, you go home and maybe your parents are at work, and then you're whatever out at some activity, or they're out on activity, and sometimes you see the people during the day more than you see the people at night. Okay, let's see. Teachers should have the necessary technology and materials to do their job.
Please.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think that one kind of goes along with what I said about the Eno board. Just
Yep.
really
And having
encouraging
enough
students.
Yeah, the
to
technology, the
work.
computers.
15 minutes to
and-
log into for
Yeah.
a class.
Yeah.
It's a little, it's
Yeah.
tough. Okay. Number 5 was students need to show respect to the adults in the school and in the community.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely.
It's very important.
Yeah.
That
Do you
is very
think that
important.
kids your age are respectful, or as respectful as they need to be?
Not always.
Not always, not all students. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that's very good if we if we're not having students that are respectful.
Yeah.
It's probably the most, but besides being responsible, respect and responsibility are probably the most two important things that you can learn, and develop in your lifetime. So I agree with that 100%.
It goes along with the role models thing too. If your teachers are respectful, you would follow them.
Yeah.
type of thing.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
For the most part, the students here are respectful.
I think so. I mean,
Yes.
I've seen some great kids here that
Me
are
too.
just super. I mean, they go out and do all kinds of community service, and they're out working with little kids and senior citizens and all kinds of stuff. Okay, number 4, adults in school need to use positive language when communicating with students.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yep, yeah, and that's what the parents said. That was obviously number 4. Number 3, learning should be enjoyable and satisfying.
Yes.
Yes.
It's,
But okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate here,
all right.
because sometimes learning isn't fun.
Yes.
No.
I mean, sometimes you have to learn about things that you're not necessarily interested in. It just can't be a cruise ship.
Right.
This is a school after all. But how do we make things fun or enjoyable, I guess, and teach you things at the same time? That's, I guess, the challenge.
We can take a science lab, for instance. You go out and find what, forget one that we do. Maybe one that, you guys have done any labs yet?
Like
I
more
don't
like
know.
hands-on
It's
stuff.
more
Yeah.
get
Yeah,
the
yeah. I've done
Experiential
labs.
things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, and then teachers need to treat students respect. So there comes that respect again,
Definitely.
obviously. And then number 1, students need to learn how to be responsible in order to be successful in the future.
Oh yes.
Yes.
I agree with that.
I mean, that is the big thing.
Yep.
Yep.
High school has taught me so much responsibility within the past year because I'm a sophomore now. So, and
Okay.
it's just you have to take on so much, and you have to be responsible about not taking on too much and being able to do well in everything. And I think responsibility is huge.
And that balance, the
Yes.
balance. So you guys pretty much agree with everything that the parents said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Great. Well, then we did a good job trying to figure that out. So now our job is to take a look at those values and put those into a statement that we can remember, and a statement that we can put around our school and kind of make it happen. So let me read you our old one first. Okay, and then tell me what you think of the old one. Okay. The old one is, at NM, each individual is challenged and supported to develop, pursue, and accomplish goals in an environment of empathy and mutual respect. We are a community committed to empowering personal growth and thinking beyond our geographic borders.
Ooh,
Sounds like my mouth might fall off if I try
that
to
is
memorize
quite
it.
the mouthful.
I don't know.
Okay, does anything stand out to you in that statement that we
Geographical borders.
Yeah. I thought about that. It's like wow.
geographical borders? Okay.
I feel like it should be shorter,
Okay.
briefer, and I don't think it needs to be so wordy to be what our school should value.
Okay.
It can be simpler.
Okay, well, you actually said pretty much what everybody else has said. Let's get this so it's real easy. Like,
Yeah.
So we condensed it down to 3 words. All right,
All right.
you ready?
Yep.
Ready.
Okay.
Let's go.
Grow, pursue, accomplish.
Oh,
That's very nice.
I like that.
I like that.
I like that a lot.
Well, people have even been saying it's like GPA.
Oh,
yeah.
that's even
Get
more
it?
interesting.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah, GPA, grow, pursue, accomplish. So
Oh, yeah.
at school, it's your job to grow. It's your chance to grow and learn new things. It's your chance to pursue your interests and the things
Yeah.
that, your abilities that you like to do and pursue goals. And then it's your chance to accomplish things and get things, yeah, I did this and
Yeah.
I made a difference. So you like that?
Yes, it's short, it's catchy, and it's true.
Yeah.
It is
as
true.
well.
And it
Very
could
true.
apply to like teachers too and in principals. I mean, because as a principal, I want to grow and get better professionally.
Yes.
I want to pursue things for my school. I want to go out and get you guys, new programs and, JROTC and International Baccalaureate and grants and all AP stuff. And I want to accomplish things. I want our school to be, like in the top 10 of the state. And, I think it kind of captures not only just student stuff, but things that we want as a school too, or organization, I mean.
Yes.
So we're toying around with all this. So I think one of our next steps is going to be to kind of send it out to you guys as students, and maybe have you guys have the same conversation that we've had today, amongst yourselves, and then maybe have you. I mean, we have all these graphic design classes and art classes and digital imaging classes. Maybe have kids come up with like grow, pursue, accomplish posters, and then have like a contest.
Yes.
Then
That
we
would
could
be
have,
fun.
Yeah, like have coffee mugs and make all kinds of stuff. Wouldn't that be cool?
Keychains.
Well, then we can get
Yeah.
new computers because we'll have a lot of money now.
Yay.
Well, I'll work on that part. I'll work on that part. But so you like it?
Yes.
Okay. Well then, great. So we're on the right track then. All right.
We are. Well, actually, I just wanted to mention that last Wednesday we had 6 high schoolers that went to the middle school, and I have a survey here.
Oh,
the middle
yeah.
school survey results.
What did they say?
Well, it says that middle school students are most nervous about getting lost in the building.
Well, I can't blame them. It is
Yeah,
a little scary.
it
the
is.
first
It's,
time.
it's
I
really
remember
not
that.
that big.
I
when
still
you
get a little
used to
lost.
it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Takes you at least 3 days, I think, personally.
Oh, definitely.
Bad.
The social interactions with older students, but bullying
Oh.
will take into account.
Oh.
The amount of homework and the difficulty of high school work.
Oh.
Well,
So,
the older students interaction thing, I gotta say, from playing sports, you really get to know these guys. Really good. They're good guys. I love them a lot.
So maybe if kids are worried about that interaction, maybe get involved with activities or
Yeah.
sports,
Definitely.
an athletic team.
they know they're good people. All of them.
Yeah.
Really.
They've
I
been
love
through
them.
it themselves too. They know what it's like to be a freshman.
No,
and
it's true.
I know as a freshman last year, I made a lot of friends being in the drama club and from the seniors even there, and they're humans too.
Yeah.
No, for sure. For sure. So tell me what else they said.
another thing that they said was middle school students are most excited for athletic opportunities, meeting new people, ladies, cute boys.
Oh no, the romance bug, they already have it? Oh boy.
The school day ending earlier. Yep.
That's
I
all
was
right.
excited for that.
They're gonna have to get up early.
Oh, I
know,
Yeah,
that
that
was
kind of
the-
goes the other
Yeah,
side
yeah,
of it.
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Lunch, independence.
Lunch?
Yes, lunch.
Really?
Really?
Until you get the
Yeah.
natural reaction for the bell. And then-
Then your stomach gets, you're hungry and
Yeah.
Okay, what else? Tell me.
Different classes with different people, international trips, prom, new learning experience, and just being in high school.
Okay.
High school's fun.
Yes.
Gotta say, only been here 2
Yes.
years, but it's a lot of fun.
Well, what was it? Enjoyable and satisfying? Was
Yeah.
that what
Yes.
we wanted?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Enjoyable.
All
I-
the teachers are great up here, as I say, and I love every single teacher I ever had.
That's awesome. That's good to hear. That really is nice to hear as a principal to know that the kids really like and respect their teachers. That's fantastic.
do. And I definitely think that as you get older and when you come to the high school, you definitely get a lot more of independence.
Oh, yes.
So I like that one too.
Yep.
Let's see. The middle school students are most interested in history, psychology, chorus, band, art, math, world languages, creative writing, theater, English, science, graphic design, drafting, web design, robotics, competitive team sports, physical education, yoga, dance, and JROTC.
Wow.
I know, that's a lot.
That is. Yeah, that's great. Good.
Also, middle school students hope after school might consist of athletics, relay for life, powder puff, theater, chorus, band, artistic exploration, and robotics competitions.
Got it.
Definitely, got all of them. And lastly, most middle schoolers think high school is just like middle school, only bigger.
Not necessarily.
Somewhat. Well,
I
sort of. In a way,
Yeah.
it's harder, but it's not too hard to adjust into it. For me, it only took me a couple months
To get
really.
kind of settled.
There's a lot of
in.
growing up.
Definitely. You know,
It's I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's not as hard as you want to make it out to be. You just you got to think past it. You got to say, okay, I'm going to high school. Great, let's go.
Right,
You know,
let's
you gotta
do it.
take
Yep.
Let's do it.
and it's not so scary either.
No,
you know?
not at all.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's
The independence
school.
is great.
Well, but you know what? The unknown. That's
the unknown
really,
can
That's
be
what
fear for
scares
some
everybody.
people.
Yeah,
That can be a real
and that's what
factor.
really gets
Yeah.
not knowing. And once you get settled and they can open their lockers and
Yeah,
they'll
oh,
be
I
all good.
opening my
Lockers.
locker. I was like, oh no, but
Yeah.
I finally got the hang of it.
Yeah,
And it was,
yeah.
it's fine. So that was all we had for the survey.
Oh, great.
So I definitely, when I was in middle school, I definitely remember thinking back to, oh, what's the high school going to be like? So I can really relate, to when I was that age, thinking what it would be like to come into the high school.
And a lot of the things that they said that they valued are very consistent with what you guys said that you valued.
With what we value here.
So that's really good. So then we're on the right track.
We are.
Well, thank you guys for having me today.
Pleasure's ours.
Yes, well, so we'll have to come up with a good topic for our next show,
Definitely.
and we'll think of something fun.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Excellent.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
This program has been brought to you by the North Middlesex Community Outreach.
To see any previous episodes of the North Middlesex Regional High School View, go to nmview.webs.com.